any problem? No, no problem. Okay, this technology, after we try 3 years in lab scale, then we convinced DSD to give us money. Let us try for DSD at Dongchong pumping station for 2 years over a very steady state operation, for 205 days, and with real wastewater, no sedimentation tank anymore. I just use 3 simple tower type reactors, and the result giving us that, yes, the concept is correct, that we can remove almost 90% of the organic pollutants, a quite larger percent, 80% of nitrogen, while you can see that the effluent water is pretty clean, meeting the discharge standard. And the DSD was very happy, even though it's happy. And more importantly, we don't have any sludge discharged over 2 years. Every day we pump in 10 cubic meters. Then you can see material never disappear, for sure. Where is the fate of those non-biodegradable solids? To answer your question, that we can carry out balance analysis of the solids, and then we can divide the solids into biodegradable, non-biodegradable, everything covered up, and then to carry out the analysis, telling you that something may be out, 15%, most of them decompose again, and finally those sands, 80% sands, stay in the bottom of the reactor for sure. They never disappear. I'm not the magic guy. I'm not the magician. Okay? But telling you that every day this sludge produced only 0.63 kilo acids per day is only 2%, 3% of the normal technology. So we can take everything out sludge and to measure the quantity and to verify the calculation is a perfect match by the analysis. So clearly, we can show you that, convince you that this process technology produce a little sludge. Why? Then we can go further. As a scientist, we need a writing paper, convince a lot of scientists. Why? Because we can show you the reactions. The reaction is here compared with conventional organic matter. Conventional, we're treating 100 grams of organic matter, will produce 42 grams of sludge. Why this reaction produce only 1.9 sludge? Nothing. All right? And why produce an interesting thing that produce a lot of alkalinity, alkali, moving a pH very high. This is important. Well, I'm showing that because the pH high, it will make the H2S produced from the reaction dissolve in water 100%. You don't feel smelly. Otherwise, this technology is nothing new, no beauty. The beauty is that when we do this one, we have sufficient sulfate because we have seawater refreshing. Then we can raise this concentration alkali higher to keep at the pH higher. So then we can have 100% H2S dissolved in water and fully use it. And then you can see the reaction of autotrophic denazification is also produce a little sludge. Compare with conventional one, that's talking about 24 something. So you can compare that all the reactions are slim guy, not the producer of sludge, where the sludge can be produced. No. So we don't need to put in any chemicals. We don't need to put in tricky, fancy bacteria. The natural reaction solve the problem for us. God help us solve the problem. Okay? What is the benefits of sunny perspective for Hong Kong? Only for Hong Kong. That we can reduce 2,000 tons sludge to 200 tons. We are confident that we can reduce 90%. At least our incinerator of sludge could be shrunk to very, very small one. And most of sludge from the sunny, actually we verify, can be utilized as construction material because the major component of the sludge of Sunny are sands, inert glasses. Okay, no need to burn even, but I cannot do boasting because otherwise I may be not very, I would say not very much trusted. Okay, if I would rather say 90% sludge reduced, and we can reduce 36% CO2. Okay. CO2 compared with conventional one. When conventional sludge need to be burned, if we need to burn only 90%, we can reduce 36% CO2. You will argue with me that we can use anaerobic digestion of sludge to retrieve some of CH4 and recover certain energy as a biogas. But I'm telling you now, those energy is far below that required for burning sludge. Very little bit. So if we don't want to burn sludge or burn sludge very little, then we can reduce a lot of CO2. And we can reduce, for business guys, we can save space and the cost by 50%. That's the reason why DSD is so interested. Okay? Now, DSD interest, we want to go further demonstration and for 1,000 tons in Satien, in an empty tank, because space there is a big problem. We don't want to disturb the operation of that big scale treatment plant. So we are allowed to use a small area to build 1,000 tons of demonstration plant of Sunny. Very tricky one, okay? And now we can have further reduction. We can make the Sunny more sexy. We can develop the sludge into a kind of granules. I can show you later, I have a sample. And we can have 3 types of granules. And we have very powerful granules. And the granular means it is settling very quickly. We can combine the settling reaction in one reactor. We can save a lot of space. This technology has been already well developed in Holland. But we can develop the similar new types of granules to reduce the space, I believe, 80% of the current version of Sunny. Make it much compact and make a user. Where is the application? You will wonder, you are talking about Hong Kong and you technology develop Hong Kong. Is technology developed Hong Kong only? My answer to you, no. We develop this technology as a platform technology for everywhere. Number 1, this technology can apply in textile dyeing wastewater treatment. I don't know whether you run this business in our country. It's a headache problem, very expensive. The sludge is a huge problem, nightmare. So we can use this technology because in textile dyeing wastewater, the major pollutants actually is sulfate, high concentration sulfate. It's a perfect match to us, this organic and the sulfate. Because we use sulfuric acid in the manufacturing in the washing, the cleansing, we use it. So we use the sulfate also to adjust the pH, and you use a lot of alkali. So we are going to build our first demonstration plant in Nanhai, Guangdong. So because Guangdong government is loving this technology, interested. He said, no body can solve textile dyeing problems. I stand up, we can do. Okay, so we are almost closing the final stage, getting money fund from Nanhai government. They have a lot of money, right? Maybe recording, I don't want to say anything, okay? Because otherwise I can't name anything, okay? Then the second one, how about the mining wastewater? Again, we use a sulfuric acid to process the ores. We have a lot of, mining wastewater is a big headache problem. No solutions. Now we step in, we can use mining wastewater to combine with freshwater switch, or even a sludge together at 以毒攻毒, okay, worse, and then we can put together and adjust the ratio of organic and sulfate, so we can realize sludge treatment again. Number 3, we can even go more ambitious to solve air, water, sludge in one go, holistically, because power station is needed to do flue gas desulfurization. Very expensive. Once we use gypsum method, everywhere use gypsum method. We have a lot of facility already in a lot of power station in our countries. I didn't say anything. But not every one facility are in operation constantly. Why? Very expensive. So we can propose to the industry that, come on, you just do simple absorption of SO2 into water. Let us handle for you. You don't need to go down to gypsum, because gypsum is saturated market. Used to be a product, but everywhere is do this one, getting cheaper. Okay, and then we can save a lot of money for power stations, and the waste can be due to 2 things. We can put in the sludge together with the FGD waste, and again we can solve the problem from the waste to resources. So here the waste become the resources to sludge treatment, and even we can put in fresh water switch from sewer into FGD, and you can use it. Of course, you can wonder how we can do it. Yes, it's a political issue that because this technology system involving too many different department industries, not easy, I'm sure. But if for new cities, we can build the power station and treatment plant together. And even for sludge, we can, even for bit away, we can use a small pipe, because this waste contains extremely high sulfate, very high. You need a little bit portion of waste. Using small pipes connected to this current treatment plant, turn them into sunny, you can solve sludge problem and saving space energy. When I presented to Guangzhou government, they like the problem because the power stations are not government owned, 100% controlled, because it's a business groups. Okay, you know what I mean? So you will convince them. So, but we hope we can do another demo in Guangdong, maybe through our Nansha Huindong Graduate School, and or through somewhere we can do it. So we are proposing this technology to different governments. We can try. This is called holistic green environment technology for air, water, sludge together. Okay, then we can save such cost, space, energy for wastewater treatment, for power station industry, and then how about go much wild? Because in Guangdong we have a lot of river mud dredging material come out, new solutions. Where is the mud goes after you take it out? No way to go. So then we can propose that we can have river muds, we can do simple grit removal treatment, get sands, gases out, and utilize as construction material. The supernatant, we can put in the chemicals to do high speed coagulation to remove the slurry and become then to be a part of sludge we can landfill. The supernet contains a lot of pollutants. We can, using a power station FGD waste, we can build a ship, ferry, boat. We can build on the treatment plant, moving the boat, and close to the power station, getting the waste first, load it on, move to another river, and treat the river materials. Sexy idea, I'm sure. Not yet studied, because we are looking for donation or money and work together, okay? But at least Guangdong Science Technology Bureau, they are quite like it, interested, but taking money sometimes takes a lot of time. And we cannot wait for. We already doing in our lab scale already. Sometimes you can come to my lab to see lot of new idea technologies. Okay, then how about technology talk to Japanese? Because Japan, they will not use seawater toilet flushing because they used to enjoy washing at the toilet. You know, they use fresh water to wash their buttocks. You don't convince Japanese to come on, use seawater to wash their buttocks. Impossible. So what for Japanese do? Even for Taiwanese, for every city in the coastline, they refuse to seawater toilet flushing. Let's do this way. Fortunately, most of the treatment plants are building a coastline for easy discharge. That's okay. And we only can use about the water reuse effluent at most 30%, because we cannot reuse water everywhere unless you put on RO. Very expensive. Okay? So we only have 1/3 of effluent can be reused for irrigation, landscaping, water use, car washing, wherever, high street washing. And we can turn this idea. Let's do this way. We can remain the 30% as it is. Don't change. And the 2/3 pumping seawater from coastline